Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Boxing. I'm your girl Leti.
I'm LB.
And let's talk about the press conference and our predictions.
Hey, let's get it.
For Danny Garcia out of Philly. And then versus Jose Benavidez out of Phoenix, Arizona.
Jose Benavidez Jr. Jr.
So what did you think about the press conference?
Hey, you know what? The press conference, I enjoyed it. It started off kind of slow, but leave it to Angel to start to pick it up and to just start dropping little sound bites, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But it was good. I was glad to actually see them and actually face to face. Before that, we saw their the kickoff press conference where it was on Zoom, so it was nice to see them in person.
Yeah.
Also, you know, Benavidez was a little different this time. You know, he didn't really. It looked like he came in like, you know what. You know, everyone's used to hearing me talk shit, but this is the first time I'm just gonna, let my hands do the talking and tell Angel.
Until he started talking and Benavidez couldn't help himself. He had to say something back, But
yeah,
I think,
think?
I liked it. I liked it that the press conference wasn't boring, They started going at it and they was talking shit to each other, and I liked that. That made me really intrigued into watching it. Benavidez, to me, it's just it's so hard to crack a smile out of that man. Like, it's hard. Like, Danny Garcia was having hella fun with it and, cracking jokes.
Doing his Scarface impression.
And Benavidez is just like straight, whoop-de-whoop-de. All right. Like, he's just straight to the business,
Yeah. I think the reason for that, though, I feel like they're just at two different points in their boxing careers, which is why, it's the perfect time for this fight, but I feel like
Danny's more relaxed.
Yeah, he's more relaxed. If you look at Danny in his career, he's already accomplished so much.
Yeah.
So that's probably why he's a little bit more, laid back and more energetic versus Benavidez. He still has a lot to prove,
I know, but I feel like
it.
The Benavidez, they've always been like that. Even his brother, they're just strictly more like always a little more serious, which I'm not tripping on, And Danny Garcia's just a goofball. He always has that personality of being a goofball.
Yeah. And it was to kind of go off of that too, like this is we have a lot of father trainers that we like, And these are two. These are the two father trainers. I was excited just to see the father trainer matchup as well. And so they're I always tell you, I was like, outside of my two favorite father trainers is Bill Haney and Benavidez. Those are my guys. So and then Angel. Angel's always been a character, he's always been, very vocal and,
and the way he talks and how he talks in the corners too. Danny Garcia has me rolling, like just the little shit that he be saying is hilarious.
Hey, and then he dropped the assalamu alaikum because he's like, we
I
from
didn't
Philly.
understand what that meant. What did that mean?
Man, I think this is my.
I was like, what? I kept trying to. I'm like, what?
Yeah, so
I didn't get it.
I think because right before that he said, Philly. Right out of Philly, he said assalamu alaikum. I think it's because the Philly fighters right now that are just on top. You got Stephen Fulton. You got Stephen Fulton. You got Boots, and both of them, they always assalamu alaikum. They're Muslim, so I think that's what he's saying. But his dad just
that didn't sound like that, like how they say it.
Yeah. Well, because they're not Muslim, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that's why he said that.
Yeah. Oh, that's what he tried to say. Okay.
But yeah. You got anything else on that?
No, his dad, it was just funny to hear him talk, Although, I am a little curious how the fight is going to go because,
let's get into it.
When Benavidez's dad, he was talking about, he's going to look great and, he's got to look good and talking even about a knockout, I think Jose Jr. Benavidez, and he was like, he kind of stopped him. He was like, look, I'm not saying that I'm going to look, excellent or something like that. I'm just going to be the best version of myself that I can be as a fighter there.
Yeah. I missed that part too.
Okay, so what game plan are they going to go in there with?
And to kind of go off of that, what you just said, I also saw another interview, I think, where they interviewed his dad after, and he spoke about it, and he reiterated that, we do need to look good.
I agree.
And I agree. And he also said that, for him, and, the thing that I always liked about Benavidez is, Benavidez Sr. is he's always bluntly honest. Regardless, I remember when he was talking about the Charlos, and he used to talk about the Charlos as if, talking about how much of a fan he was until he actually got to know him, and then, But the fact that he's always being real, and so in one of the interviews afterwards, he mentioned, he goes, yeah, for me, I always feel like there's more to be done, and he felt like at this fight that, he wishes that he could have done more, but he said, we're just gonna have to see, and so that kind of gave me a pause.
What do you mean? That wish they
could have? He said, yeah, he said,
training?
Yeah. So he said, he goes, everyone's gonna tell you. This is what he told you. He goes, everyone is always gonna tell you. This is the best camp we ever had.
Right, and I always say that too.
Yeah, and that this is exactly what he said. He said everyone's gonna tell you that this is the most, the best camp they ever had. And he goes, now he goes, I look at it. I'm gonna be honest, I look at it a little differently. He goes, for me, like my guys, there's always more that I can push them. So he goes, so I always feel like I can, I wish I could have did a little bit more. But he said, we'll see what happens fight night.
But is he bluffing to make Danny Garcia think something else?
No, I don't know. Benavidez to bluff, but we just gonna have to see. But that definitely made me raise an eyebrow when they had that disconnect during the press conference.
So,
but yeah, but that was the press conference. It was exciting. But let's get into this fight though.
Oh my gosh.
Let's get into this fight though. So
tell me.
Okay.
What you got? What you think? I think.
Me or you on first?
Okay, I'm gonna go. Okay, I'll go first.
Right.
I think that. Oh my God! I like I like both fighters. I'm a fan of the Benavidez family.
Good.
I think I'm gonna have to give it to Danny.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna have to give it to Danny. They talked about Jose Jr. Benavidez being naturally the bigger guy. But even Danny Garcia is talking about like a lot of people think that I'm the smaller guy in here, but like I low-key walk around at a heavier weight.
Okay.
So I think he's got a lot of experience. He's been in there with some great fighters. He's been champion before. So I think he's really got a little bit more of a ring IQ, and he's strong, and Jose Jr. Benavidez is gonna have to keep that freaking left hand up because that right hook from Danny Garcia is wild,
The left hook.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the left.
The patented left hook that everybody talks about.
So I think I'm gonna go with Danny Garcia, and I'm not gonna do my boy David Benavidez knockout. I think it's gonna go 12 rounds. Or 10 rounds, whatever it's going to be. It's probably going to be 10 rounds. I think it's going to go 10 the distance.
Okay.
I'm just excited to watch it. It's going to be a bomb-ass fight. I'm not going to say it's going to be a knockout. I don't dare say that it's going to be a knockout, that he's going to get knocked out because, Jose Jr. Benavidez, he tough motherfucker, and he's going to take those punches, and I think his will is just going to push him through to go through all the rounds.
Okay.
But what do you think? I'm curious. What you think?
Hey, this is what I have to say. So yeah, Danny Garcia, he has had he's had a great career. We've seen him in the ring with Errol Spence. We've seen him in the ring with the top of the welterweight division. We've seen him in there with Sean Porter, and we also seen him in there with Keith Thurman when Keith Thurman was Keith Thurman. And so he came up short in all of those. And in those, a lot of the critiques that he was getting is, he's flat-footed sometimes against those type of fighters, and also the fact that people want to see Danny let his hands go. So coming into this fight, Danny was talking about how comfortable he felt at 154 because he goes, hey, I'm like you were saying, I've been sucking myself down, and so he feels good, he feels energetic, and he feels strong at 154. Now, I don't think that even though he is a bigger guy, all those guys suck down. He's not the only one that sucks himself down. So Benavidez, when he was at 147, he was sucking himself down. So I don't think that's gonna make a difference. You know what I mean? And I think that that division, I think it's just gonna be, they're gonna be those guys up there. They're longer. Stronger. I think that he's banking on 147. His speed. He thinks he's gonna have the speed.
But he didn't have too much speed.
Exactly.
He didn't have too much speed.
Exactly. And exactly. And so for him to add on weight, moving up, I don't see him coming in being faster. Now, the reason, and Benavidez.
And he's faster, Benavidez.
Yeah. Now Benavidez, he does have, he does have a little bit more size. It's not much, but he does have more size. Benavidez is known to have a good jab, and we also seen him take Crawford to levels we've never seen before.
Yeah, and Crawford did say that was his toughest fight.
Yeah, and and if you don't know Benavidez, he had been shot in the leg, and so it was he kind of struggles, with his leg works at times. So when we saw him in his last fight, a lot of people thought he lost that fight, and it was a long layoff. Maybe that was the opponent. But man, if you can't get up for Danny Garcia in the Barclays.
There you go.
So with all of that being said, I am looking at this as Benavidez coming in as the hungrier fighter. He definitely has to be the hungrier fighter.
He has to prove something.
And he has more to prove. He's talked about he wants that rematch with Terrence Crawford. And he's got to look good. I agree. Yes. And so for that, I tried to go back and try to watch his last fight just to it's not as fresh to me. But I'm gonna go ahead and bet on the Benavidez stable.
Woo!
And the camp.
Okay.
And the hunger.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go with Benavidez by decision.
Oh, okay. I thought I was
I'm not gonna go for knockout. I mean, if you know Danny Garcia, everybody knows that Danny Garcia got one of the meanest chins in the game.
Oh,
that man's been hit.
Dude, and by Sean Porter, I was rewatching that fight. I was like, oh my.
I'm not even gonna say Sean Porter because Sean Porter is known not to have. I mean, they were throwing blows. Sean Porter ain't known to have that power, but the shots that he was taking from Thurman, Thurman is a thumper.
Yeah, he said Thurman was the toughest the stronger one, strongest punches that he felt.
Yeah, so for that, I don't see him stopping Danny, but I can see him winning a decision or maybe even a split decision. I do think that Benavidez is going to be hungrier. He's going to come in wanting to really prove, point in. Not to say, he did mention though that, he goes, I'm not tripping too much on, his size. He's saying that he's, okay being in the upper division because I've been sparring my brother and he's in the 168 division. Yep. Mm-hmm. And that ain't gonna mean shit to me. He's like, I spar 200 pounders, so that ain't gonna do nothing to me, you know? But I just think Danny Garcia is gonna also want to look good because he's lost to great champions in the past. All his losses have been to champions. And for him to, come in and fight against, Jose Junior Benavidez, who hasn't been a champion, I just think he's going to be like, damn, it's going to be a damper on my record if I lose to somebody that, Yeah, I mean,
champ. So, again, I'm going to, work with Danny.
Danny, I mean, don't get me wrong. Danny is an amazing fighter and everything. I just think that the weight class, I don't think that... I just think 154 is going to just be too much. Benavidez was at 147, and he's already kind of got more of the length. And then it just, based on the style, is really where I'm coming. But really, this is a 50-50 fight, a great moment in time, but really on the style. So I think if, that's why I said I kind of going back to Senior and his game plan. I think he's going to have a great game plan, and I think they're going to box him. That's the way to beat Danny, is to box him. You can't stay in front of Danny. And so, with him having the leg problems, if he's able to, jab and he's able to be, mobile, I think that he can get it done by decision.
But I think if Jose, Benavidez wants to win, I think him and his dad are gonna have to be on a comment because if his dad is telling him something in the corner and he's going in there and doing something else, and I don't know how that's gonna play out.
But
it's gonna be an interesting fight for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be an interesting fight. I can't wait to watch it. It's definitely gonna be an exciting fight, but it's just a perfect moment in time for both. Danny's Danny's talking about he wants to get another belt to be a 3-division champion, and Benavidez is looking to get back, at the top, where he was before he took that L to Crawford. So we're just gonna have to wait and find out.
Can't wait to come back and talk about the recap, y'all.
Hey, I can't either, and talk about the matches after that. I can't wait. But so let us know down below, who you guys think is gonna win this fight. But that's all we got. So thanks for tuning in, y'all.
And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Or talk your shit. And we out.